Welcome to the Explainer. We've got a great one for you today. It's all about a radical new blueprint for AI coming out of DeepSeek-AI, and it's a real roller coaster of a story, a brilliant idea that should have worked, but then catastrophic failure, and, of course, the clever fix that could seriously change how we build the giant AI models that are, everywhere now. So, for about a decade now, AI development has pretty much followed this one golden rule. It's what keeps these massive, city-sized models stable when they're training. But what if that same rule is also holding them back? What if it's a cage? Well, this paper asks a pretty bold question. What happens if we break that rule to unlock even more power? All right, so to really get what's going on here, we've got to talk about the AI's information highway. It's a concept called the residual connection. And honestly, it's been the bedrock of deep learning for years. It's basically the only reason we can build these models that are hundreds, even thousands of layers deep without them just falling apart. Okay, so what's the magic trick here? Well, it's something called identity mapping. You can think of it like a perfect, lossless express lane on that highway. A signal from, say, layer 1 can just zip straight to layer 100, totally unchanged. This is so critical because it stops the signal from fading out or getting all garbled along the way. That right there, that's the secret sauce for training these huge models without them just breaking. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, that's your classic design, that single, stable, reliable highway we've been talking about. But then, look at the right. That's the new proposal. It's called Hyperconnections, or HC for short. And instead of one lane, it's a full-blown multi-lane superhighway. It blows up the path into multiple streams and uses these smart, learnable matrices to mix and route all that information traffic. The whole point was to create a much richer, way more powerful network. But, and this is where the story gets really interesting. Here's the twist. This super promising new superhighway, the one that was supposed to lead to way better performance, well, when they tried to scale it up to train a giant model, it led to a complete and utter catastrophic failure. So what went wrong? Well, the problem was that this new superhighway had no speed limits, no guardrails, nothing. It totally broke that golden rule of identity mapping. And without that core principle keeping things stable, the information traffic just descended into absolute chaos. We're talking a massive digital pileup that crashed the entire training process. And wow, this graph just tells the whole story, doesn't it? That stable line, that's a standard model, training nice and smooth. But look at that other line. That's the HC model. Right around the 12,000 step mark, it just goes completely off the rails. The error rate, we call it loss, it doesn't just go up, it absolutely explodes. The whole model just destabilized out of nowhere. So the researchers dug in to figure out what happened. And they found this just astonishing number. The signals flying down this new superhighway weren't just flowing, oh no. They were being amplified by up to 3,000 times. For anyone in machine learning, this is the classic nightmare scenario. It's called exploding gradients, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A total breakdown of the learning process. Okay, so that's the crash. Now for the solution, and it is a very clever fix. It's called manifold constrained hyperconnections, or mHC for short. And the big idea here wasn't to tear down the superhighway and start over. Nope. It was to install some really smart, mathematically defined guardrails to finally tame all that chaos. So how do these smart guardrails actually work? Well, the core idea is to put a constraint on those learnable connection matrices. They have to have a very specific mathematical property. They need to be doubly stochastic. Now, what on earth does that mean? In simple terms, it forces the matrix to act like a perfect mixer. It can shuffle and combine information from all the different streams, but, and this is the key, it cannot amplify or weaken the total signal energy. It has to conserve it. No more explosions. And you can just see the difference, right? That image on the left, that's the original HC design. It's unconstrained, chaotic, a total mess. But on the right, that's the mHC matrix. Look how structured it is. It's balanced. It's orderly. It's a system designed for controlled, careful mixing, not for chaotic, out-of-control amplification. So what's the bottom line here? It's this. mHC brings back the stability of that original, trusted design by keeping the signal gain right around 1.
But it does it while keeping all the expressive power of that wider, multi-stream superhighway. You really do get the best of both worlds. All the richness of the new idea, but with the rock-solid stability of the classic one.
Okay, but a brilliant idea on a whiteboard is one thing, right? Making it actually work efficiently in the real world, inside a massive cluster of GPUs, training a gigantic model, well, that's a completely different challenge. This is where the elegant theory smacks right into the hard, messy reality of engineering. And hurdle number one was something called the memory wall. Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. As this table shows you, that new, wider information highway needed to move a ton of data back and forth from the GPU's memory. All that I/O just created this massive bottleneck, slowing the entire training process down to a painful crawl. So, how do you break through a wall like that? Well, the engineers at DeepSeek came up with this really clever three-step solution. First up was kernel fusion. Think of this like combining a bunch of small errands into one efficient trip to the store. It just cuts down on all the back and forth. Second, they used recomputing. This is where they'd strategically throw away some data and just recalculate it later when they needed it, which saved a ton of precious memory. And finally, they totally re-engineered their scheduling to overlap different tasks, which brilliantly hid all the time it was taking to move data around. And the result of all that intense, down-in-the-weeds engineering? Get this. They got all the benefits, all the power of this new mHC architecture with only a tiny 6.7% increase in training time. That is an absolutely incredible win. It's what took this from a cool theoretical idea to a practical, usable reality. All right, let's get to the payoff. They solved the stability problem, they conquered the engineering challenges. So, how does this brand new architecture actually perform when you put it to the test? Well, the results really do speak for themselves. This graph here shows that the mHC model didn't just fix that catastrophic instability, it consistently got a lower, which means better, training loss than the standard model. So it wasn't just more stable, it was actually learning more effectively, a huge win. And that better training translates directly into better real-world performance. I mean, just look at this table. It's comparing models of the exact same size, and mHC just comes out on top across the board. Take a look at the BBH reasoning benchmark, for example. It jumps from 43.8 all the way up to 51.0. That is a huge leap in complex reasoning ability, just from changing the architecture. But you know, what might be the most exciting part of all this is the vision the authors have for the future. They don't just see this as one little tweak. As they say right here, they're hoping this work kickstarts a whole new wave of interest in macro architecture, the fundamental blueprints of AI. They want to inspire a whole new generation of designs.
And that really leaves us with a final, big, thought-provoking question, doesn't it? For a decade, this residual connection was basically an unbreakable, untouchable rule. This research shows that by challenging it, carefully mind you, we can unlock some pretty incredible gains. It really makes you wonder, what other unbreakable rules of AI are out there just waiting for someone to come along and rewrite them completely?